This is my analysis of my explorations with Uber. I decided to look at Uber to see if it's worth me taking on as a part-time job. Because it was an exploration, I rented a car from Maven, General Motors, and always was looking at this as being a part-time job. Having driven taxis before, I know a little bit about how it works and where how you pick the times, etc. So I thought if I could pick times which are profitable, also fitted into my lifestyle, that might work out well. I live about 40 kilometres away from a regional city, Geelong, about 170,000 people, in a very small coastal town, populated by retirees mainly, or in general. There's a few various small towns around within about 25 kilometres which do have younger populations, and I always knew that was going to be a limiting factor. So I took a random selection of various times during the day and during the evening and afternoon. I never did want to do night shifts because it would just impact too much on my family life and my lifestyle in general. So I kept all the figures, and these are the figures here. This is for my use, so it's split up as as I see fit. But you could take a screenshot and take out of it these figures. I've got the fares, the kilometres, the rent costs overall. It's $260 a week. Fuel, the distance travelled per trip, and the overall distance travelled per shift, which is down this column. And the analysis is done over here. So the per kilometre earnings, and that is calculated using on shift kilometres. And the on shift kilometres is the total overall. It's not the per trip kilometres, it's the on shift, so it includes ferrying the car to wherever I started work and home and that sort of thing. So that's a much more realistic cost, because every kilometre you do in the car costs money. And I've calculated it as if I was buying the car, because my family car isn't suitable, so I'd have to purchase a car and pay for that and the depreciation, etc. And also for renting the car. And the figures overall here, the most telling figures are here. So the per kilometre earnings averages out to be 56 cents. It always sort of, it's around the 60 cents mark. So averages out to be 56 cents, which is almost exactly what you could claim from the tax department, for example. The Australian Tax Department reimburses you if you use your car for business up to a certain amount of kilometres, and that's roughly what they give you. So in the way I use the car, I'm not earning anything. I would end up with a car, but that's not an important thing to me. My old car is fine for the use I need it for. So I'm not interested in ending up with a newer car over a period of a few years. So it's just simply not feasible for me to do this. That's not to say it's not pleasurable. I really enjoy driving people around, and if I were to want to take this on as a lifestyle, it would work very well, I think, really. So if I did 12-hour shifts, the same as I did in the taxi, and I did 6 days a week, I think the pay would be reasonable, and you could pick then the times to work when there might be surges on, because surges really do boost your income. In this small regional town, there's not that many surges, but I saw a few, And so if you can catch 2 or 3 trips a shift even on that, you can boost your income quite significantly. So overall, I didn't, for my purposes, living in a place which is quite a way away from a reasonable sized town, and picking out times which work around family life, it wasn't feasible to do Uber. It may well be, and I think it would be successful if you lived in a more busy town and you worked longer hours. And overall, I think it's a fantastic system. The website works brilliantly. You don't have to know where you're going because the tracking is really good. The customers are all vetted, so I didn't have any unpleasant experiences, and most people take people as they find them. So my customers are always very happy with the car being clean and the drive being safe, and my demeanour being pleasant. So overall, Uber is a fantastic website, but not for me in my situation, living where I do and wanting to work the hours I do. And I just sort of passed that on. The reason I got into it was because of a driver I was with was very enthusiastic, and for his lifestyle it suited him obviously very well. But now I've given it a thorough test, and the figures are all there for you to see if you like, and to make up your own mind whether you want to go into it or not.